In this episode, Golden and I discuss Justice Society, World War II. Full speed ahead.
The Omega Beam. Full power. The Omega Beam.
Welcome to the Omega Beam number 125. I'm your host, Oren Merton. So in these uncertain times, it seems one thing we can at least be certain of is that Warner Brothers is going to release multiple direct-to-video animated DC Comics-based movies every year. We don't see them all. There's over 40 of them. We just don't have time. But Justice Society World War II looked interesting from the trailers, so we decided to pick this one up and give it a look. So without further ado, here we go. I am here with Golden to talk about the DC animated film Justice Society World War II, which we just discovered is the 41st film in the DC animated original movie line. Wow, that is a lot of movies. So what did you think of this one?
I really liked how the feel of the movie seemed aged. That it didn't seem like it was contemporary animation, but that it was an older style to fit the idea of going back to World War II.
Very true. I think that's something that some of the really good animation is now doing. I think we'd both agree that Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse really took its unique animation to a whole other level and showed you what you could do when the animation matches the story that you're trying to tell. And I think they did that here in a much smaller way, but an effective way. I also thought the story itself, I like them. A lot of the movies have tried to basically adapt comic arcs, but some of my very favorites have been original stories where they've just taken their own idea and turned it into a nice 90-minute animated story. And this was a completely original story. It took the Justice Society, which was the precursor to the Justice League, and it took some of those characters, some of the more modern characters, and it created a unique story, which I thought was a good story.
Yeah, no, I enjoyed the story. I thought that they did really well with the Flash and his part in it. I thought that it was interesting to see the characters in this other time frame.
Yes.
And how they would have been acting together. And I enjoyed that there was a reason for the Flash to be there.
Yeah, definitely. It managed to be an interesting and unique story to make sense and to deal with some character issues while at the same time giving you the kind of big epic battles that you expect in these DC animated movies. And I should say, the action scenes in these DC animated movies are usually pretty good. They were really, really good in this one.
And it was nice to see that the person in charge was a woman.
That's right. Yeah, they had Wonder Woman in charge of the whole thing, played by Stana Katic. And I did think it was amusing, and it was fine. Now that Gal Gadot has sort of redefined Wonder Woman for the modern audience, they had Stana Katic put on an accent because, Gal brings her Israeli accent to Wonder Woman, so now we need Wonder Woman to be accented, which they've never done before. But, it made sense. It worked. She was supposed to be somebody not from the United States, unlike the rest of the Justice Society of America. So it fit. It was appropriate. I thought she did a fine job in the role. I thought all the actors did fine jobs in the role. I think Matt Bomer did a great job as the Flash, and the other characters I thought did good jobs as what they were. You had Omid Abtai as Carter Hall. You had Chris
Diamantopoulos.
Yes, thank you. As Steve Trevor.
Although it might be Diamantopoulos. I'm not sure.
Could be. You had Keith Ferguson as Dr. Fate, Ashley Lathrop as Irish West, Matt Mercer as Rex Tyler, Liam McIntyre as King Arthur, slash Aquaman, not the British King Arthur. Although I do think that Aquaman is probably the best modern King Arthur.
Yes.
So, and you had Alicia Rotaru as Dinah Lance and Armin Taylor as Jay Garrick. And they all were great. I mean, some had more lines than others, but all of them, I think, put on great characters. Speaking of the Justice Society, I should say, one of the things I liked about this story is that we start focused on the Flash in modern times with Iris. And he goes back in time as a result of what happened.
There's a little bit of a spoiler here.
A little bit of a spoiler, but the trailer does show that he starts modern and goes back in time. So one of the nice things is that the Justice Society, which we've never been introduced to before, they clearly interact like they know each other well. They interact like a well-oiled machine, and I thought that was nice. It's like they don't take the time to like sort of introduce each character to us. They're just a machine that does what they do and do it well. And I liked that. I like that you're kind of coming in after they know each other. And of course the trailer shows us as well, the Flash doesn't know anyone or what's going on. And I thought that gave it kind of a real lived-in feeling that I liked, that you felt like you were meeting something in the middle, that it wasn't just put together for our eyes only. It had been going on for a while. So I thought that was just well done. I liked the music. The composer, I think, did a good job of both creating his own atmosphere and his own sounds, but also hearkening back to superhero themes, like the Wonder Woman theme at points. He'd sort of do some echoes of it. So you'd, like the Junkie XL Wonder Woman theme from the movies, you'd get a little taste of it there. And not every DC animated movie is great, but I think this one really was a winner.
No, I enjoyed it. I wasn't sure what to think about it. I wasn't necessarily that excited to watch it last night because there were some other things that sounded a little bit more interesting. But I enjoyed watching it a little bit more than, I think, the last one that we watched. I don't remember what the last one was.
Superman Man of Tomorrow may have been the last one?
No, that one was good. There was one I wasn't too thrilled about, but this one was, if you enjoy the DC animated movies, you'll definitely enjoy this one.
Yeah, absolutely.
And you'll definitely enjoy the short that comes with it.
Yeah, that's a good point.
I very much liked the short, Kumandi.
Last Man on Earth.
Last Boy.
Last Boy on Earth, that's right.
Yes.
Yeah, if you just stream the movie or rent it, you don't get the animated short. There's an 18-minute animated short that you get if you buy it on the Blu-ray or if you buy it on an online retailer. And the short included with this one is, like you said, Kumandi, Last Boy on Earth, who is a little-known comic character created by Jack Kirby and ran between 1972 and 1978. And the short looked exactly, I mean, they really made every panel, every background, every character look like a Kirby drawing. And it gave it this absolutely wonderful comic-y feel, to the point that, like, the end credits, it basically played the credits over like a comic cover. It was done very deliberately, and it was done very well. Keeping it spoiler-free, if you don't know who Kumandi is, it's a post-apocalyptic thing. He's like Last Boy on Earth, like the title says. And he basically has an adventure, and it's really good. It's just really good. It's really all I can say without giving anything away. But it's really good. It's worth it.
Well, you could say that, he ends up having to basically compete.
Yes, that's a good
or
way.
Or go through a series of tests.
That's a very good way to put it, that he ends up being tested. And
there is a character that is both mentioned in Kumandi and also present in Justice Society World War II.
Yeah. And so there's no tie-in between the two, but that character does give you kind of a link between the two. But yeah,
one of the voice actors is the same too.
Yeah, and some of the voice acting. But yeah, I have to say, I would never have thought of Kumandi to do a short for, because it's just not a character I'd ever had any familiarity with whatsoever. But having seen it, I was like, wow, I'm really glad they included this.
Yeah.
It was absolutely worth it. So yeah, if you like DC movies, watch the movie. If you like the shorts and want to see a really artistically done great short, then buy it and catch the short that way.
And if you didn't think Black Canary was too tough,
oh yeah,
this may change your mind.
Oh yeah, absolutely. They made her into quite the character. Absolutely loved. I loved what they did with all the characters. Absolutely. Well, thank you, Golden.
You're welcome.
And that's it for this episode. You can find the show notes at theomegabeam.com/125. If you liked this episode, please leave a review wherever you listen to podcasts. Your reviews help people who like this stuff find our podcast. If you have any comments or suggestions, please drop us a line at info@theomegabeam.com. Be good to yourselves and each other, and we'll catch you next time.
The Omega Beam. Full stop.